It is so hard for me to find the words to express my love and admiration and celebration for Kyle's birthday being today. It's hard because for a moment in time, this time last year, we were told that he might not make it to this birthday. And although we trusted with everything in our being that he definitely would make it to this birthday, it is still so challenging to grasp the reality of what life was like just 1 year ago and how truly incredible it is to be where we are in this moment. This time last year, Kyle's blood counts were plummeting. Just 2 days before his birthday, he got his blood drawn, and his white blood cell counts were extremely low. So much so that we were advised to cancel all of his birthday plans and to fully isolate, because when you don't have white blood cells, your body has no ability to fight off infection or illness or anything that could arise. And so we did. We canceled his birthday party that we had planned, and we just had a cozy, rainy birthday indoors last year. And that would start the beginning of a very eventful next few months and truly the next year of our life. His blood counts plummeted because he took 1 dose of an immunotherapy called Keytruda, and he had a very rare, very uncommon side effect of developing aplastic anemia, which is, in my understanding, when your bone marrow stops producing new blood cells. It can be fatal in some cases, and that is what we were told. He was admitted to the hospital just shortly after his birthday for his first day in the hospital, because as the days went on after his birthday last year, his white blood cells, his neutrophils, which are your immune fighting cells, just kept diminishing and diminishing. And what happens in those cases is you develop neutropenia, which is when you don't have neutrophils, and then you can develop a neutropenic fever. And it's different than a regular fever because it's very hard to break. It doesn't necessarily break in the same way that fevers when you're sick break, because you don't have an immune system at that point, basically. And so he developed this neutropenic fever, and it was not breaking. He was so delirious and so just could not get out of bed. He was so non-functioning, and it was heartbreaking and horrible to watch, and just seeing him decline so quickly. And because that neutropenic fever would not break and there was nothing they could do outside of the hospital to get his blood counts to come up, they admitted him to the hospital. And we stayed there for a few days, and they finally let us go home a couple days later, and Kyle's doing okay. But at that point in time, they were doing blood draws, I think twice a week at that point in time, and his hemoglobin dropped dramatically, like into the range where you need an infusion now. This isn't a go home and come back tomorrow. Like, you're getting admitted to the hospital right now, which was like such a shocking, jarring moment in time of like, how is this happening? And so we walked from the cancer center over to the hospital, and Kyle had a transfusion of 3 liters of blood, and then they just monitored him for a couple days. It was during that stay that they also did a bone marrow biopsy to see what is happening in the bone marrow. And his bone marrow did not look great. It wasn't really producing a lot of new cells. And his oncologist was actually the hospitalist that week. And so he came in to talk to us, and I'll never forget that moment where he looked at us, and Kyle was kind of in between awake and asleep, and he said, "I just don't know if you're gonna make it. In these cases, it's very unlikely that you will." And that fear and worry and concern and just disbelief, like, how's my husband, who was fine literally a month ago, potentially dying? Like, it does not make sense. Kyle looked at me and was like, "I'm not going anywhere. I don't know why you're worried, because I'm not going anywhere. And he's right. He did not go anywhere, and he is not going anywhere. He is truly the most miraculous, incredible human I have ever met. And so today, 1 year from this moment in time that was filled with so much fear and uncertainty and worry because of taking one dose of a drug, we are here standing in this moment in time where everything is different. In 18 days, Kyle will have brain surgery, a surgery that he was told time and time again that was not possible. In 18 days, he will have brain surgery, and that is wild. It's also incredibly wild because he said for my birthday, I want this tumor out of my head. And it's happening. Baby, it is happening. It'll be a little late, but it is happening. Kyle is the most kind, loving, silly, playful, optimistic, loving, most incredible soul I have ever had the honor of meeting. And the fact that I get to call him my husband is truly one of the greatest joys and honors of my life. That I get to walk this path of life with him. And he deserves every ounce of that goodness. He deserves to be celebrated for turning 46 and this milestone. It was 20 years ago that he was diagnosed with brain cancer at 26. And it's a milestone that we're here turning the page to this new chapter, this new beginning. And it just feels like such a monumental day of celebration. And so to find the words to express the magnitude of how much Kyle means to me and how incredible of a human he is truly so hard to do. Because he is beyond the most special human I have ever been lucky enough to meet. He is the most loving, kind, generous, compassionate, optimistic, silly, perfect human being all wrapped up into one. I look at him and I feel safe, I feel home, and I feel so incredibly lucky that I met him in this life and that we chose to do life together, because it has been the greatest gift of my life. Just being around him makes me want to be a better human, because he is such a good human. He shows me how precious and beautiful life is, how important each and every person and little critter and plant and every piece of this magical place that we call the earth are. That every little thing is so important and worth caring for and loving and giving the benefit of the doubt to. That we are all inherently so good. He is the light of our life. And I just am so excited for what this next chapter looks like. I feel so overwhelmed with emotion of just disbelief of everything we've gone through since we've known each other, but especially in this last year. And knowing that things are finally looking up and only improving, and I cannot wait to celebrate him for the next 50 years of his life. And that chapter of true healing is just around the corner. Truly, it's just a couple weeks away. I just love him so much. And to know him is to love him, because everyone who meets him just loves Kyle. He has the sweetest, kindest relationship with my grandmary, my one remaining grandparent, and the love that they share is the most special thing, and it just warms my heart. The way that our nieces and nephews just oogle and ogle at him because they just love him so much. It's because he is truly the golden retriever. He wags his tail his imaginary tail at everything and finds everything just incredible. And to be able to see life through his eyes, even for small slivers of moments in this life, is like magic. So today, on his 46th birthday, we celebrate him, we honor him, and the inspiration that he brings to every person that he meets, the hope that he brings to everyone, and the love that you feel by being around him. I can't wait to watch his 46th year of life unfold in front of us and just continue to blow us away and fill us with hope, fill us with love, fill us with joy, and so many deep, deep belly laughs. Happy birthday to you, Kyle. I love you to Beetlejuice and back forever and ever and ever.